Remember a few months ago, I made quite a few videos about the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. I made one video about the fact that Sadiq Khan was knighted by the king, not my king, not your king, as I'm very much aware that people don't actually like King Charles because King Charles happens to be, well, it looks like happens to be a Muslim lover or an Islamic lover. The guy is like a Islamic scholar. Next thing we know, he'll be converting. And there goes the Church of England, ladies and gentlemen. There goes the king supposedly protecting the Church of England. But nevertheless, we saw the very first Muslim ever to be knighted. Oh, how times have changed. I think Queen Elizabeth, and all her ancestors will be rolling in their graves right now. Why the hell do we fight the Crusades for only to have a Muslim knighted at the end of the day? It's the statement of the matter. And then I made another video not long after that about Sadiq Khan's refusal to condemn or even, I guess, acknowledge the victims of the grooming gang scandal. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it looks as if that the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, is being accused over grooming gang cover-up scandal. He's being accused of being part of the grooming gang cover-up. And ladies and gentlemen, is this any shock to you? It's not a shock to me at all. It's no surprise to me. I mean, there was a Talk TV show host that unleashed a few months ago as well. I'm blanking on her name, but I made a video about that because it happened to be Sadiq Khan's refusal to condemn the grooming gang individuals that committed the atrocities. He actually was so smug, so arrogant. It's no wonder that Trump cannot stand Sadiq Khan. Trump knows character, I believe. And he can see this dingbat has got zero character. He can see what's happened to London. Central London, not so bad. You know why that is? It's where the majority of the white people are, just so you know. Not trying to be racist at all, but it's where the majority of the English situate. East London, West London, guys, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I've been hearing. East and West London, absolute hellholes. It's where the majority of the crime is. You know who is the main populace in those areas? Take a wild guess. Not majority white, majority Muslim, 100%. And you know whose fault that is? Sadiq Khan. Sadiq Khan and what's happened to London. I mean, you can walk in a street of London and you will be surveillanced nonstop. You will be charged for your car, your emissions. The man has destroyed what used to be the great city of London. No longer. And now, guess what? He's being accused of being involved in the grooming gang cover-up scandal. Go figure. You know, I've always looked at people's character first. And my goodness me, when I saw Sadiq Khan's character, I got chills. He's got none. In fact, it just reminds me of Satan, blatant devil. It's scary, man. The truth is finally coming out. The Mayor of London previously said he didn't know what the grooming gangs were. Now they're saying he's covering them up. He needs to be arrested. He needs to resign, needs to be arrested, and he needs to be thrown in prison. Now, if this is coming out right now, what else are we going to find? Sadiq Khan humiliated as Met Police makes huge London grooming gangs U-turn. Britain's biggest police force reversed a long-held denial after an Express and My London investigation. The Metropolitan Police have made a stunning U-turn by admitting for the first time it has a very significant number of grooming gang investigations after being presented with the findings of an Express and My London investigation. Campaigners told the Express that they were relieved to hear the Met acknowledged what so many of us have been saying for years, and claimed it showed the force had realized there was no point lying anymore. There's no point in covering this up. Like the grooming gang scandal, which overwhelmingly was the Pakistanis, the Muslim grooming gangs, you can call them, they were covered up. And the victims, they need justice. Like, we need a proper inquiry into this. Keir Starmer's involved. He didn't prosecute nearly enough as he should have. Tommy Robinson blew the lid on this, and he has been blowing the lid on this for quite some time. And then he's been under political persecution, and countless other journalists as well. I'm blanking on their names because this is a massive case. Countless other journalists have been under a significant amount of pressure and attack for exposing these people. They're corrupt as all heck. Speaking to the London Assembly on Thursday, Met Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley reversed years of denials by stating the force had a steady flow of live multi-offender child, exploitation probes, in addition to a substantial volume of historic cases. Just 24 hours earlier, we'd pressed the Met on how many cases were being reinvestigated as a result of the Homes Office grooming gangs review. And after refusing to answer our questions, Rowley told the regional assembly that they had so many cases to re-examine that the costs would be many millions. The number of cases is going to be very significant. That position changed after the force was presented with findings of an Express and My London investigation that showed Sadiq Khan had read and responded to Met Police inspection reports with victim case studies that experts ruled had typical and textbook grooming gang patterns. One of those who examined our evidence was Rochdale whistleblower detective Maggie Oliver, who said the findings had prompted a spark of honesty. After decades of denying the existence of the grooming gang types of child in London, this expose by the Express is finally forcing at least a spark of honesty from those who would prefer to cover it up, she said. This 180-degree turnaround replicates that I have seen in my 13 years of exposing similar failures and cover-ups in Rochdale, Manchester, Barrow, and many other areas throughout the country. It is just the latest example of how facing personal threats, yet still speaking out and focusing on those complicit on this corruption and cover-ups in high places is gradually breaking down the walls of our public institutions. This is Maggie Oliver, I believe it is. It should never have taken countless journalists and years of ignored warnings for this truth to be accepted. The Metropolitan Police recognition is long overdue. Now words must turn into action. Frontline workers, victims, and communities deserve more than apologies. They deserve justice, accountability, and lasting change. A spokesperson for the Met Police said, "We understand the very real concern the public have around so-called grooming gangs and treat all allegations of offenses and exploitation extremely seriously." The Mayor of London has yet to comment on the Met's U-turn. Speaking about the Home Office grooming gangs review in June, he said there was no indication that any of these cases were in the capital. Well, guess what, Sadiq? You're being accused of a cover-up. And it doesn't look good for you. And I hope and I pray that you end up facing justice. The full force of the law. I really do. Because what I've seen London turn into ain't good. I'm sick and tired of corruption. Eventually, those that are corrupt, those that are spineless, those that do the wrong thing, they will, number one, get exposed, and number two, face consequences. And that's exactly what's happening to Sadiq Khan, or at least I hope it happens at least some point soon. because the grooming gang scandal is literally the worst scandal that the UK, I believe, has covered up. And those victims do deserve justice. That's for certain. Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.